Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final Three Braincells Podcast. I am John Cody.
NanoBunTV. He's mute today. He just feels like it. It's really important.
Gears.
Someone's gonna think that their audio just shit the bed. I'm gonna make that part dead silent.
No, it's very silent.
Completely silent.
On the news today, a survey says that 9 out of 10 Americans believe that out of 10 people, one person will disagree with the other 10.
Wait, what? Well, that it would no with the
So what are we
with the
talking
other
about
9?
today?
What you mean with the other 9? That's not how math works.
No.
What?
No. This is how math works. It's mathematically
I
possible.
wouldn't know. I don't know math. Math's stupid.
Nano, you stupid with math.
Yeah, I know.
But it's so possible. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about any of the math. Don't worry your sweet little head about it.
Doing the fucking sleigh thing with your hands.
Math is a fake construct.
He's being fruity with his hands while saying that I can't do math. So, welcome to episode 8.
Oh, sorry, I can't be fruity.
Can't be fruity. No, you gotta be metal, because you're metal. You're not fruity here.
Fruity Pebbles are off limits.
My fruity pebbles.
I want to
are
mention,
open.
I'm gonna actually immediately start the episode with something that wasn't on the list of things we wanted to talk about. Just real quick. The earbuds that I bought, I was using that to talk to you gears on the voice chat right before starting this episode. There he goes, off in the distance. Okay, well, I'll tell you this. So the earbuds that I bought, the JLab like Air something, I don't remember exactly. It's a Fruity Pebbles pair of those fucking earbuds, and it looks so stupid. I'm gonna pull up the photo here for both of you to see, but it's fucking hilarious. It's like, who in their right mind thought, yeah, let's get some Fruity Pebbles wireless earbuds. That's gonna sell. Guess what? It didn't sell.
I gotta see the image.
It didn't sell. I'm gonna pull it up in a second. Here.
Let me see the image. Where's the image?
Hold on, 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
No, I can't hold 2 seconds. I only got 3.
It's the JLab Go Air Pop. True wireless earbuds. And then let me pull up. God, there it is. Jesus Christ. It is like abysmal. Like, I've never seen a piece of tech have worse colors than this shit right here. Audio listeners, love you to death. This is, you're not going to be able to see this, but it's bad.
That what in blazes?
Oh my god, it looks like someone sneezed a rainbow onto a fucking piece of like equipment.
That's like if you have a 4-year-old design a pair of earbuds. He's like, I want this color. It's like color by numbers type shit. This looks like a color by numbers art book.
I swear to God, if you ever get it, just can you put in black paint, just start putting down numbers on all the different colors.
Yeah. Why would I get? I mean, it is only $25.
Earbuds to relate to a clown? There you go.
It's so bad.
Nano putting on clown makeup.
Oh god. Audio listeners, if you want to see it, go watch the video podcast on YouTube or Spotify, or just don't if you'd like to have a little bit of sanity, because it is horrible looking. Yeah, or just Google JLab the JLab limited edition Fruity Pebbles Go Air.
Fruity Pebbles.
Go Air Pop True Wireless Earbuds. It's absurd. The earbuds are good. The design is horrible. What we're going to talk about today? We got a list of a couple things.
We have like 2 different tornado stories. There's a tornado story that I think Gears was going to continue on because
right, that's part of the LARP.
I remember because I remember at the LARP, but I also like had a tornado. But I feel like Gears should continue with the LARP stuff in that.
Okay, good arguments. However, poor. Nuts, balls.
Testicles.
But I want to hear about like specifically the tornado stuff with the LARPing stuff.
I do want to hear both your tornado stories. Yes,
tornado stuff for what happened in May.
To summarize,
honestly,
I really want to hear this.
Okay, I can continue on with the LARPing stuff, and then I can end it with the tornado. And then John can talk about the tornado.
Exactly. See, that's how you transition perfectly. I want to... All right.
Start.
And to catch people up from... No! Shit! Damn it. Okay. 2-minute episode. This is bullshit. All we talked about was Fruity Pebbles earbuds and nothing else. Okay. To anyone who didn't watch episode 7, you should, because it was really good. But if you haven't...
Watch episode 7. We're not recapping you. Go.
He's talking about LARP now. That's all that's happening. Keep talking about your LARP.
So recently... So in between the time that video was recorded and this video coming out, or in between the time of the recording and the recording of this video, Skilltree, the one who actually went to the event, who was actually a pretty big YouTuber, about just really big YouTuber, but honestly very nice, very easy to talk to, just very actually really fucking cool guy. I love him. He's awesome. Yeah. But he actually posted a video about it, so if you ever want to get more details on exactly what happened with everybody and not just my story, go right ahead, watch the video. It's called True Adventure Reckoning 3 or Muckening 3.
All right, I'll go ahead and put the link down in the description, and I'll put it in the description for the episode. I'll put the link there.
Yeah,
shout out, come on.
He's got
Skilltree, come on the podcast.
I wish Skilltree could, but I don't think they have a VR chat avatar, nor do they really do VR. I didn't really ask about the VR stuff.
Hey, that wasn't super limiting. We said we'd have Orion on here, and he doesn't fucking play VR either, so, you know.
Oh, okay. So,
we can get him in.
Basically, the entire event was just mud. Everywhere. I was there on the first day, and it rained beyond all hell. My specific adventure started at around 10 p.m. or 9 p.m. the day before we were supposed to get there. I started driving. It was a fucking long time, and I got there at 5 in the morning.
Wait, what? When did you start driving again?
At 9 p.m.
Jesus Christ.
Dropped a few things with my... And then I drove overnight, parked somewhere, slept for about maybe 4 hours, and then woke up and started my drive again. So after I had gotten an hour away from there, I finally slept. But the thing is that our car was filled with so much shit that I couldn't even get into the back to sleep, nor could I get really anywhere to sleep because I wasn't sleeping in a hotel. So I'm sitting upright like this. And I'm trying to fall asleep.
So how did your back feel after that 4 hours of sleep?
It wasn't my back. Seat? I couldn't sleep.
Oh, you just couldn't. Okay, so you tried to sleep, but you didn't actually get 4 hours of sleep.
So we were at a rest stop, and we parked and we tried to sleep, and then I was like, I don't want to be 3 hours. I don't want to be 2 hours away and have to get up and then drive again for 2 hours. I want to be at least an hour or at least there before I try and sleep. So slept, blah, 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 over there, slept again, blah, 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 went another, because I was getting very dangerously loopy whenever I was driving, so I was trying to swerve a bit, and I was like, I'm gonna go park in a parking lot so that I can sleep a bit before I continue driving.
In an alternative universe, Gears fucking dies at his final 2 brain cells.
And
a ghost.
I was flying the plane, but I was a little tired, so I veered off to the left.
Yes, we've hit our quota for 9/11. All right, so continue.
Yay,
and
penis!
That was 8 minutes in.
8 minutes in. That's a pretty good time to get the quota done. All right, and then we still have the Hitler quota, and then we should stop saying him by name. I should stop
honestly,
saying
yes. I feel bad about it, because honestly, atrocities were committed. But Hitler's art was honestly terrible beyond all shit.
I think.
I mean,
I think that I made a joke about that recently. Of like, oh, you can separate. I told to actually Strawberry yesterday or last night. I'm like, you can separate the art from the artist, unless it's Hitler, in which case, well, 1, you can't, and 2, the art sucked anyways.
Both committed atrocities in both their respective fields.
Oh, God.
And if you got bingo by now?
Yeah, okay. That's pretty good quotas now.
Okay. So I'm going to continue now. So I got there at 5, and then I took out 2 chairs and some other things so I could flatten out the seat so I could sleep. But I decided just to take out both the comfy chairs that were in there, fucking set them up so that I could bean myself into the middle of them and just sleep for a little bit with a blanket on top of me. God damn, was it the best thing I've ever done. And then it started to rain, so we put a tarp over me so that I wouldn't get wet. And then it started thundering. So then packed up everything that I had, threw it into the car, and went, yep, nope.
Yeah, that's
and then just waited till about 7 or 8. We waited till 7 or 8. So I had a pretty good little rest in between. During that night, I booked a hotel, by the way.
Good job.
That night of the Thursday, so that I could go to sleep. And it was nice. It was a very nice hotel. By that I mean it was a Motel 6. It was good for a Motel 6. It was like $70 for a room. It had one giant king size bed, and it was honestly really fucking nice.
I've never I've been to a lot of hotels. None really stand out to me. They're all just kind of whatever, and every single one, even like sticking with one chain, pretty much all of them are still always different. But I do remember kind of that one you mentioned, never anything to write home about. Typically,
No, yeah, but they did have a cat. They owned a cat on accident.
Wait, what do you mean on accident?
On accident?
A stray kind of became friends with one of the workers that
awesome.
worked there,
Okay.
and
That makes
cool.
sense.
And so
that is cat logic. That makes sense.
yeah. So they've got now a cat that they own. Quotes. Air
No,
quotes.
the cat owns them.
The cat owns all of them. Yeah.
The cat
And then there's
owns
also
the motel.
That's
So,
how that works. That's cat logic. That's how that works.
during the first start of the first just to get a basis on this, it took fucking Skill Tree an hour to talk about this entire thing. I'm
You're
gonna
a
try to take
speedrunner,
as
go.
little time. I'm gonna take as little time as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and take as little time as I can. But so basically, first day, rained all balls. We were setting up all the tents and everything in fucking rain. I literally was drenched all the way from head to toe. My hat was drenched, my shirt was drenched, my pants were drenched, my feet were drenched.
I hope you like water and mud.
I fucking was about to get trench foot. Yeah. And I was, we were,
Who dropped the swimming pool?
there's, I wish. So there's some things that the landowner was supposed to do beforehand, but they never did them. So we're kind of like, and so I had to build bridges out of timber that was on the property, and screws that were shit for building bridges. They were like 1.25 or 2.25, and I needed like 3.25, 4 inches of like actual like screw, because some of these logs were thicker than balls, like so fucking big.
Well, like you
And,
probably would want a log thicker than balls to make a bridge out of, because balls are not.
No,
they're
it's not. It doesn't need to. It doesn't need to be that thick.
Ah.
It just need to be able to support a human body while.
How big are your balls?
Well, 7 inches is 7 inches.
I can get you a bridge with a couple of 2x4s and some super glue.
Holy shit!
Well, they also weren't exactly. So they were scraps off of one of her neighbors are a lumber yard cutter thingy.
That's
They cut
convenient when you
actual
need to build a
2x4s
bridge.
and stuff. But they
cut lumber
they
yards?
only gave her scraps.
Oh,
So I got all the oblong pieces and the weird ass shit to build a bridge off of.
Puzzle, jigsaw
It was
puzzle.
not
Except
fucking
people are
fun.
gonna be walking over this shit. Hope it doesn't break. Hope you do the puzzle right.
Basically.
listen,
No, none of them broke actually.
we can get you a bridge made with some duct tape, some WD-40, and a whole lot of whiskey.
I'm a person who likes to be very I like to do things right. And if I don't have the right materials, I really don't like doing it. But I'll try my damn hardest to still do it and try to get it as safe as possible. And I did that with some of them, and I didn't get to build all of them by myself. Most of them were built by others, but the same principle was used. Basically, slap logs onto a bracer piece and then drill them through so you can get the stuff all stuck to it, and then lay it over the part that you need to bridge over. And then we also had to set up the staff tent over during the middle of the storm. It was like raining like all hell, so we're all still fucking wet. I don't have anything on as in like I don't have any raincoats or anything like that. I forgot I didn't even bring anything for that kind of shit
You didn't have any clothes on?
because I didn't know if it was gonna rain or not. I was naked. I was nude for the entire event.
Who's nude in the rain? Yeah, the photo that you see of him wearing the nice robe and stuff, that was photoshopped on after the fact.
Yeah, then my balls were hanging down low. I'm kidding.
Is this still all day one that you're
You check
talking
the
about?
other guy's
'Cause
YouTube.
This
You
is still
check the
day
other guy's
one.
YouTube channel, and he's just like, there's this guy who's just naked the entire time. I don't understand why, but I'm like, kudos to him. He's confident.
I guess he might have a podcast. Shout out. Anyways, no.
Day one.
I thought you
Day
talked
one.
most about day one last time.
I'm just going over it again. So day one still, we're not even on the first day of LARP. This
Holy
is build
shit.
team day. So this is early access build team day. And so multiple cars got stuck. And I'm not kidding you. Multiple cars got stuck already on the fucking first day.
I mean, that sounds like mud.
That happens with mud.
That sounds like mud.
Yeah, like But most of them, it got worse. It got worse later on. So multiple cars got stuck, and
Sounds
they
like
pretty
mud.
much prohibited.
Mud
They pretty much
2.0.
prohibited most people to get onto the even just anywhere on it on day 2, because I went home at about 12. I went to the hotel about 12, which was 30 minutes away over into city down south, because it was the only cheaper part I could get, because everything that was near me was like $100, and I wanted to get something cheap because we didn't have much money, and I still don't have much money at the point of this recording. So day 2, this is Friday. Everyone's starting to come. I come in, and I am so fucking pissed because of how much shit that's going on. And I'm like, my car's not gonna get stuck in the mud. And they're like, we still don't want to fucking waste chance it, because we've already had several four-wheeler cars, like cars that are made for the
Like
fucking
four-wheel
mud.
drive ones were getting stuck in the mud.
Yes, with
Ooh,
diff
that's-
locks.
You know, when you said it was all mud, I really didn't understand exactly how much you meant until you said that the four-wheel drive cars were getting stuck in the mud. Yeah, that's fucked.
Some of
That's
them,
mud
some of them were
2.0.
getting beached. Some of the fucking cars were getting beached
That is
on the mud.
so bad.
because their tires would dig straight into the mud. Well, it's because most of it's slate underneath it, like straight, like slate. Because most of it was a stripped out coal mine.
Yeah.
So the dirt's pretty much just recent. And yeah, it was not a fun time. So also, most of us had to worry about water being around our tents or getting into our tents, because a lot of them are in a they're in kind of like old school tents, you know, like the bell tents, camp tents, or TP kind of shit. And those ones specifically don't have exactly sealed edges around the bottom with their ground tarp, and that's because they're not designed really to have a ground tarp area.
And we need to keep the water out so that they don't get into our picnic baskets.
Exactly. So on day 2, it rained. It rained a little bit more on Thursday, so there was stagnant water in some people's areas, and some places were becoming an exact swamp. And that was the Vatican. The Vatican's entire camp was just swamp. I am not kidding you. The fucking Celtics were swamped.
Well,
yeah, I know.
Did they still have-
Shrek.
Celtics arrive and then Shrek is angry.
did they still have fun?
Oh, they still have fun. They had a lot of fun. I wish I could
And
send you
they-
some of the. Actually, no.
All of them
you
immediately
can-
went to the dry cleaners right after that event ended, and that nearest dry cleaner made absolute fucking bank. No, okay. You should have
No,
just nodded
no.
yes. You should just said yeah.
So I'm gonna also give Nano some of the photos to actually put into their edit. I'm gonna give you access to the thingy, though I don't know if they have access. Though I will say fair use standards, because there's some people who got muddy. If I can, that's the thing. I'm probably gonna say no. I'm just gonna describe it as best as I can, and then say go to Skill Tree's video, because most of the fucking things that I'm describing here you can see images of at Skill Tree's video.
No, you can have a YouTube video have other parts of a YouTube video.
I don't want to steal all Skill Tree shit.
Have you heard of React Streamer? I'm kidding.
Just kidding.
Go to
Skilltree's video and watch most of their stuff whenever it comes down to pictures and things, if you want to see all that kind of shit. But here we are talking about.
I was waiting for it. Hello, XQC.
You mentioned a React streamer. I'm going to go for it. You
Okay,
mentioned a React streamer. We're going to make fun of him.
so on Friday, we're finally getting everything set up. I'm having to deal with the fact that we can't bring our shit, and I need to set up a tent in the out of game area, and I don't know where to fucking set it up, because everywhere is like an incline about that steep to this steep.
Or it's mud.
Or it's also mud, which is whenever it's like this or like this. So there, I'm just kind of putting it like here, but you can just put a line of like what the angles are.
He's saying
screen.
45-degree angle and then like a 10-degree angle.
This was like most of the place was this to this.
Sometimes the walls just went straight up.
Yeah.
And then there was this was there, but that was only because there was a building.
90-degree angle. Yeah. Okay, that would be a building.
And then
That's how a wall
flat.
works.
So
I mean, typically you don't want a slanted wall unless you're making a roof.
I fucked that joke up so bad.
So this is kind of how it went. This is just kind of how it went whenever it came down to all of it. There were some flat spots between all of it, so that's where our camps were, except for Hadrian Camp, which was just So most of us couldn't set tents up that were properly set up because, slanted ground is not a good place to set up a tent. And I don't care if you're going to say, but slanted ground can sometimes be good. No. Not whenever you are sleeping. Whenever I orientated my tent, I made sure to orientate it so that whenever I'm sleeping, my feet would be down in the hill. So it would be going like this. So I would be sleeping in orientation.
You're not gonna fucking roll down the hill.
I rolled it another way. I was sliding down the fucking mattress.
You were on a slide.
I was literally on a slide. So I'm gonna talk about day one again. So I got all my tent set up and I got everything inside set up as well. Then we went to go. I got dressed up in my LARP gear, and went down, did some things, had some lunch, blah blah blah, did the things, and I kind of showed a guy how to smoke a pipe. Yes, I smoke a pipe, by the way. We smoke bowls here only. It's a weed term, basically meaning that I'm smoking marijuana.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
But I'm not actually smoking marijuana. I smoke tobacco out of a pipe. And before you go, it's unhealthy. I already fucking know how unhealthy it is. I'm not even addicted to it either.
We'll be going to final 2 brain cells plus 1 ghost any day now. Oh shit, right now. Hello everybody, welcome to Final 2 Brain Cells, episode 8. I guess no, episode 1 now.
Final 2 brain cells and a ghost.
Yeah.
And a ghost.
The ghost of the mud.
Gears is like, Pesperate got shit on me.
So it was dark, and we kind of were just, the funny thing is that the dude who I actually helped smoke a pipe.
He's having a drink in the middle of the story, okay.
I helped smoke a pipe.
The pipe split off in like 2 ends.
We were kidding. No, I'm kidding. He literally grabbed one of his bottles of like his potion bottles that he has for the LARP, filled it with whiskey, and then handed it to me and was like, "This is your payment.
Yeah.
This is your payment for helping me smoke a pipe properly. Like this is like improved my pipe smoking.
That's fucking
experience.
awesome.
So
Please
fucking
tell me
far.
you still have it.
He gave.
That is so
oh
funny.
no! I drank it all that night and gave.
Oh,
and gave him back the potion bottle.
Oh, the bottle though.
It was like 2 shots of it was 2 shots of scotch.
I see. Was it a cool bottle though? Was the bottle cool?
It was a cool ass bottle.
I
wish
you
it had
kept
a cork
the bottle.
and everything.
Ooh,
it had a cork and everything.
Ooh, I wish you kept or at least took a photo of
That's
that.
awesome.
That was average. That's like what most of us had. Some of us actually even had like tiny little vials that had corks on them, and that was actually for our potions that you could make in the game.
Yeah.
And you
so
make
we
a
have
potion.
I know
there's
exactly
a
what you're talking
job.
about, yeah.
There's a job classification called
that.
Potionsmith, and they make potions, and they're actually like watercolored, food colored. They have food coloring in them to color them, and how you take them is that you hold the vial, open it, and you can either take it down like that, or you just throw it behind you, cock it back, and then whatever color that is, it signifies a certain potion. It could be health, it could be vitality, other things like that.
It's amazing.
It's fucking awesome. I loved it. So I got a vial of scotch.
That
this is a healing potion. What is it? Scotch.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. This was a.
It becomes the opposite of that if you take another, though. If you take two potions of scotch, then it's the opposite. But
actually,
it's a
that was
debuff.
not that. He looked at me like I was fucking crazy when I was just like, I took down like the entire thing over this man that we were talking, and he doesn't notice any difference, and I'm just like, yeah, this is pretty normal for me. Not drinking every day.
Alcohol.
But no,
no.
So after that, I went to bed, and then one of the guys named Darcius, that's his in-game name. I won't be saying actual out-of-game names because I don't know many of them. That's all we called each other. We tried going like, hey, my name is this in real life, but in game I'm gonna be called this. We all just went, fuck that, just call us what you're gonna call in game. That's what we all know each other by because of Discord and the game. So we're just all calling ourselves in game names.
TwitchCon is gonna be like, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's gonna be what TwitchCon.
Yeah, that's pretty much how TwitchCon is. Like
I mean, you would know
I
because
don't
you've
think I
actually
called
been.
anyone by like their actual. I think I didn't call anyone by their actual names. Like some people I knew their actual names, but like for the most part, like most people just called each other by like their in-game name or Discord name or whatever. So for the most part, like I think I'm the only exception because, but
You
But
put
for
your
the most
name as
part,
your
like,
actual name.
Everyone.
His name is his
but,
name.
But most people, yeah, my name is my name. But yeah, most people called each other I called Frosted Fricks, I called Captain Kira, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Darren's
Full
his
legal
name.
name.
we all
Hello, Captain
I guess
Kira,
Darren.
instead of just Kira.
And
Kira,
so
yeah.
we also went to breakfast right beforehand as well, before we all got there. So but earlier that day we were all at breakfast and two ladies walked into the place, and it was, I went, because there was a dude behind them that I knew was actually from LARP, and I went, "Are you here for reckoning?" And, hello there, are you here for reckoning? They looked at me like, what the fuck? And I pointed to the dude behind him and said, "Guy behind you." And they looked behind like, "Ah!" And I'm just like, and I just kind of giggled to myself.
Everybody
going,
else in the building was like, "What the fuck is going on here? Is this some kind of code? Is this a code word for a bomb?"
I was kind of giggling to myself and just going like, I confused two people.
Yeah.
So I had a pretty good breakfast. I got to know some of the people who were there beforehand, and I got to talk to them about what they would like and everything like this. And then I went to the event, and then that Scotch thing happened. Then we go on to day 3, which is actually the first day of full LARP, which is on a Saturday.
Here we go. I think
First
day
day of
3 was actually the one that you talked quite a bit about, but you called it day 1 last time. I think so.
That was the day 1 of actual LARP.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But anyways, day 1 of actual LARP, aka day 3.
So day 3, I woke up, got all my garb on, and basically went out and went over to Darcius and asked, "Hey," and he threw me a giant. He threw me some brigandine armor.
See, if thieves
brigandine is a
Got this.
style of.
Oh God.
It's a style of armor, or brigadier, or something like that. It's a style of armor. Basically, it's just leather squares all riveted to some inner laying stuff. And I don't know exactly what it's called, or I don't remember what it's called. But if you know it, you know it. I want to make actually some pretty good, I want to make a splint leather, and then put lamellar, or not lamellar. I think it's called brigadar. It's whenever it's the ring version of that type, where you have rings, big rings, sewn on to the leather, the chest piece that you have, so that it's like extra protection against swords and stuff like that. So whenever someone comes in and slashes like this, it just, metal's there to protect you.
I don't think that would work for a condom, but extra protection for armor, yeah, I think that would work a little bit for swords. Maybe not the other kind of sword.
Condoms are pretty good. Always wear protection. Have safe sex.
Honey, I'm going to put on the metal condom.
However, gay.
This is the only month where I get to be straight.
Damn it! Yeah, that's true. Is this episode still coming out in June? Oh yeah, no, it is. I think so. I think it'll still technically be June. I swear you said that before. No, why did it hit that hard that time?
I forgot about that.
I've said this like 5 or 6 times.
No, but it finally processed in his brain on the 5th time. It's good though. It only took 8 days into Pride Month.
Nice. So I'm gonna make that type of armor. But no, I got this armor. Then we went over to the speech of how to LARP, what are the rules, safety thing, and trying to all that kind of stuff. Went back over, and they said if you have any weapons, we're gonna check them, because we use foam weapons as our weapons. So we have swords that are made of foam, and they're not like the LARP ones where you have the noodle. No, these are properly made foam weapons, really nicely done. And they're really thin between what the actual the fiberglass rod that's usually inside of it, or the plastic rod that's usually inside of it, between where their foam is. It's very thin. So when you get hit, it hurts. It hurts when you have no armor on. Fuck, one of the guys was a hard hitter. He's really fast with his movements, and he's a hard hitter. And if you don't call out, he hits you a second time to make sure that you're out. So there's no fucking rebuking it. I love him. His name is Theseus, and he is honestly great at the combat.
Like the boat? I'm sorry. I had to say, like the ship of these. Okay. Anyways, continue.
So he's a really great guy. Honestly, love him, and I have his armor right now. I'm holding it for ransom.
What?
Yeah.
You forget it?
So Yeah, he forgot it. He lives in another state, like very far away. He lives on the West Coast, and this is an East Coast event.
You know, it just reminds me of Tara, because every single time he comes over to my house, he always fucking forgets something. Next time, he's gonna forget his newly acquired ID. Like, I swear to God, he's gonna forget his state ID. Like, it's always something.
Sounds about Tara.
Yeah, you know,
Oh,
every
shit,
single
I forgot
time.
my social security at your house.
He can't find his. It's gone.
529976.
Yeah. No, he lost his social security card, or he's never actually seen it in his life, which is a problem. A little bit of a problem. He should get that sorted out.
A little bit of a problem. Okay, so.
Anyways, no, that's just, sorry, that's just, I know I've ruined a lot of the viewers right now, but now everyone in the back of their mind is probably thinking, where is my social security card? Because you just have to have that thought in the back of your mind every once in a while, like, I haven't seen that thing in a while. Where
Mine's
is that?
gone, but I memorized the number.
That's not good.
But mine is in a
Actually, most places never have me bring it.
I convinced Cross to finally put his in his safe, because Cross was always carrying his on him. I finally, the other day, convinced him to put it in a safe.
I have a safe, and I have like my social security card in there, my passport, and a few other things, including euros for whatever reason.
Yeah, America and Canada residents do not carry your social security card with you. Jesus fucking Christ, don't be like Cross. It literally says to not carry it on you.
Okay, so I was getting phone weapons check. I was doing some of the checks on the phone weapons. They hurt like a bitch. Not kidding you, some of them will. And if some of them have any tips that are like slightly creased at the top where you could see like the pokey bit, where the rod inside of it, those are out. We do not use those. And there's spears, hammers, arrows, bows, everything. The draw weight of the bow has to be at least 28 inches of a draw, and it has to be 35 pounds or below at 28-inch draw.
Cool. Keep talking about. Can you talk about people getting stabbed now and dying, like in real life, like dying in real life?
No.
Damn it. No
so
one
then we got all
died.
that. Then we had to go over to the guy, and then we got into character. This is where some of the photos were taken. Actually, you can tell whenever the photo was taken whether I had a sword or not. Some of the photos were taken that I have. One of them is on my profile picture on Discord, and also can be shown.
It's is floating right above your head right now. Audio listeners, fuck you.
Can you put like a
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you. So just like glowing hands right here, and then just.
God, you are making me have to edit. Fuck you. Oh, that's the one edit I'm gonna do for this whole episode. Everything else is just regular. God damn it.
Got into my character, and I usually bullshit a bunch of things, so I'm very good at like what is the action called? Whenever you bullshit through everything. Improv.
Improvy. Yeah, that.
Improv. So I'm actually good at improv. That's only whenever I get into character. Whenever I got into character, I was just like, I'm not gonna listen to a fucking pumpkin, because the arbiters, who are the ones speaking, wear orange garb on them to signify that they're arbiters. Arbiters are the wizards who summoned us, and also are gamekeepers. So they make you follow the rules.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically staff, but without being staff.
You
So
mentioned
they
the
have an
pumpkin
in-game
thing
like
before, but you didn't mention that they were staff. Yeah, I made the
Yeah, they're
Marcus
technically
Pumpkin
staff.
joke that no one will know because it's fucking stupid.
So then, after that, went back, and I went through the fucking public pile for all the weapons and armor that was all for grabs and you can use for the event, but I have to get back to the original owner. Found out who the original owner was, and so I memorized their face so that I'd always know where the fuck they are, no matter what they are, no matter what name they have. And so I got the Geralt Steel longsword, which is a fucking Witcher sword, by the way. It's awesome. It's made by Camomile, and it's fucking awesome. And I got
Shadow camels.
I just like the idea of like going to the. I just like going to the public pile and just be like, "Ooh, look at this, a gravity gun."
Shout
And
out
then,
camels.
I
I don't know,
got-
you said something about camels. Shout out Mark Hamill.
and Camomile.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brand of foam weaponry. So then I also got
Made by
chainmail.
General Electric.
Of course.
That's stainless steel, small round chain, 4-in-1 chainmail, and it was just like a short shirt, a short sleeve shirt.
Chamber.
And I also put that on. So I put that on first, put on the leather, then put on the belt that I got from one of the vendors that were already there. Which there was vendors there. There were actual vendors, like they took money. They took actual money. and then had the sword there, and had a bracer on, and got the cool ass cowl that I was using that made me look really cool, and that was also from a vendor with the belt, and it looked really fucking cool. And then the first event happened. Someone got immediately knocked out of the woods and died.
Team Rocket's blasting off again.
It was the first death, or technically death. When you get hit too many times, you have what is called a mortal wound, which is whenever you go unconscious and have to be revived.
Idea. Just don't explain it to them, so that way they have to go watch episode 7. Because you explained the death system episode 7. Get fucked, viewers!
So then you die again, and then you revive, and you die again, then you revive, then you die. He got downed. I went up over there, did the whole LARPing thing, was like, hey, what the fuck is happening? And then I looked over at the dude, is there any wounds on him at all? And they're like, no, there's nothing on this dude. And I'm just like, I'm gonna go up there and check what the fuck is going on. So I went into the forest. It's tick infested, by the way. I got 2 ticks during the event.
God.
But that's for day 4.
You mentioned the tick removal, I think, in the other episode too, which is fucking still.
Thank you, Skill Tree. You literally are like my savior at that point because you were the only one with tweezers. Thank you so fucking much.
The tweezers did come in clutch.
And oh yeah, they did.
The tweezers were the main
There's
character.
a blowtorch.
There was one person that got a Lone Star tick. Actually, no, there was several people who got a Lone Star tick.
What is a Lone Star tick? That sounds familiar.
A Lone Star, it's a Kentucky specific tick, though it is mostly in the southern U.S. And basically, it's the tick that carries the disease that makes you not able to eat red meat.
So multiple people are fucked now.
Steak is off the table.
Man, I knew that one sounded really familiar. I'm like, is that the meat one? Yeah, it's the meat. Fuck, that blows. That's horrible.
I thought the Lone Star tick was the one that was a sheriff of the town.
Get out of here, John.
I can't. Go-Go Loco's locked right now.
He's locked in place. He's glued. His ass is glued to the seat.
Damn. Well, I was going in the forest, kind of rummaging around, seeing what the fuck was going on, kind of doing my thing, and I kept on going in the forest, and we were kind of sneaking around, showing everybody like what plants not to touch, what plants you can touch, and then like make sure you don't go into the higher bushes, because in the higher bushes is where ticks will usually kind of like sit, and then as soon as you brush up against them, that's how they get on you. And we're just kind of running through the forest. We saw Hadrians inside the forest, and we were like, oh shit, it's the bitches. And then we went back into camp, notified our personnel that there was Hadrians in the forest, as other scouts were also brought into the forest so that we could fuck them up. And we then captured them, and then someone brought them back to camp, and then they were set free. I think so. It's sometimes a bit weird because you don't know the dynamics of all the groups yet until like later on. So all that shit happened, and then there were 3 Vatican's that were inside the forest. This is actually more detailed of the recent event I just told. 3 Vatican's were inside the forest. We saw them. They went towards the Hadrian camp as we were also going towards the Hadrian camp. So we kind of scurried off to the side and then kind of like hid in the forest, and they were walking still, and then we were like, shh, and they noticed us, and they're like, whoa. And so they're like, hey, how's it going? And we're like, shh, because we're all trying to be quiet because we're right next to Hadrian camp. Be quiet while you're in the forest, especially if you're sneaking around. We don't want them hearing us and coming towards us. We're going to send our scouts out towards them. We're going to get you back out of here.
This is where somebody pulls out a portable speaker, aka the mythical device that can play Kevin MacLeod's Sneaky Snitch.
I swear to God, I'm going to kill people.
It was... That's the only thing I can think of when you're like, be quiet.
Then dynamite.
When the Rivlin so whenever the Rivlins went over to sneak on the Hadrians noticed and then went up into the forest, and then we had to scurry back. The 3 Vaticans are with us while whistles are being blown, and the whistles basically mean something to the Rangers, but not to me because I'm not a Ranger. And that brought in more Hadrians. So instead of having 3 Hadrians, we had 8.
That's a problem.
And we were kind of like, oh shit, oh god. And so we were kind of sneaking up, our bow knitters with us, and so some of the guys who were able to fight. I have a longsword, so I'm not exactly like, I'm in a fucking forest. I'm not gonna fight because that shit can't cut anything. So it's gonna just get stuck on everything. So I just sheathed my sword, crouched down, said, bow knitter, Vaticans with me. And we kind of just rummed around until we got to the backside of them, where we got to a clearing, and then we were going to sneak in behind and actually get to the archers that circled around. And basically, they were kind of like this around our guys, like a semicircle around them, and had them almost on all sides, so they were kind of pinned. So we were going to come in from behind and attack the archers. In the Vatican were wanting to, but then everything kind of settled down and kind of became less tense. And
this is surely the part where somebody fucking dies, right?
No, this is the part where negotiations kind of happen, then we kind of all settled out.
Diplomacy, huh?
Diplomacy, and then some other scouts
The
were
boring kind of violence.
Some other scouts were kind of put in, and they actually took the guys from that were in there, and then just kind of brought them over to our camp. And I don't know why, but then some other things happen, and then boo, and then we go on to later.
Later, spoiler alert. The sun moves its position in the sky. All right, day 5.
No, I still have more.
The sun does move its position, though. Huh?
Then later on in the day, I was basically hotter than balls, and I took off my shirt and kind of like was trying to cool down because it's getting really, really fucking hot. It's not raining anymore. It's really fucking hot. I actually did get shirtless, and I was out of coin because I bought a tankard from the trade shop with only 5 silver or 4 silver because I owed a silver over to Darcy's because he gave me pipe tobacco. Yeah. And so, sitting there, kind of just really hot, and then I walk over to one of the guys who are the lead on the Rivelin culture and also the leader of the Rivelins, and he's like, I've got this really cool cipher, or I got this really cool papers, but I don't know how to read it. Do you want to translate it for me? And I'm just like, oh, this is going to be easy. And it took me about a couple hours.
That wasn't easy. This is the part where he lied.
Actually, no, they were expecting it to get done by day 3.
Oh. So you
as
did
in day 3 of LARP days.
Okay, so never mind. He did do a good.
Yes. So then I basically got the entire alphabet out, and except for little bits of it, and we were starting the translation of the actual document. Then one of the guys comes up and goes, "Hey, I died and I lost my key. Can you help me locate it?" And so I'm like, okay, yeah, we can help you locate it. And we go to the guy who has a mace, and basically he has the key. He killed the dude earlier and unconscious him, took it, looted off his body and everything like that. And so I acted as a guard sitting there, just kind of with the sword out and just kind of like just having it on hand, just ready to pull it out and start attacking. And we kind of negotiate our way of getting the key out of money. And we basically said that we had only 20 silver on us, on all of us, because the guy who was negotiating said, "Hey, do you got any silver?" And I'm just like, "I'm broke." And he's like, "Oh shit." And so I don't have the money. And he walked to the other guy and he's like, "I only have like 20 silver." And he's like, "Hand it over. I only got 7 on me." And he's like, "Well, okay, we'll do it for 27. And so they traded us the key for 27 silver. And then we're walking away, and the dude says, "I actually have like 4 gold nuggets." And he's like, "Hand me 2 of those." And so he hands him 2 of them and then hands them to me. And I get paid 2 gold nuggets, which is 10 silver pieces.
Nice.
10 silver coin, and that was fucking cool. Loved it. And then I went up, we started doing more translation, started doing more of that, and then all of a sudden we started getting an alarm sound for it was the undead is starting to attack. And so I grab a bow and I grab some arrows, and I'm starting to like watch the tree line, and we go into the forest after like everything is all done. This is 6 undead facing 230 people, by the way.
Yeah.
The undead were still winning.
What if a zombie apocalypse broke out like in the world while a like LARP session is going on?
That'd be funny. But no,
that'd be pretty funny. That I feel like that should be like a small like couple-minute section of like a zombie movie, if it's not already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, 6 undead. Undead can only be killed by fire and also a magical weapon, and that's it. So we finally got them dead with fire, and I was still following the tree line just in case there was any undead there. And the guy was like, "Hey, let's go in," because I had some dude with me who had melee while I had a long range archery. And so we were kind of like a tag team, and I told everyone to just kind of like gang up with 2 people, 1 for archery, 1 for long range, so that you can, have a protector near you so that you don't get fucked. So we went to the forest. I found a piece of malice that was next to their Hadrian camp. And malice, whenever you touch it, basically, if you let go of it in any shape, way, form, you die if you're not an artisan. So we walk over back to the camp after everyone's killed the undead, and the Rivelins are there, and I shot an arrow into the camp, and I went, and they're like, enemy archer, and I'm just like, it's just me. I walk down into the camp, and I'm just like, I have something cool, and just goes into shirt. I don't know what it is. Holds it up, and then so you just hear someone scream, "We need a bone knitter! Is there an artisan?"
So the man
And I'm
holds
just
up
like-
a thing, and then he's dead.
It's Malice. Well, no, I'm not dead yet. And they pluck it out of my fucking hands, and then I just drop. I literally just dead man drop. No fucking like roll down or like and then
I
just
remember this.
drop.
So Gmod Ragdoll.
I Gmod a ragdoll, and
Continue.
I Gmod ragdoll, and they revived me. Some dude flipped me over and started pounding my chest. He was like, "I need you alive." I can't remember exactly what he said or how he did it, but I just remember that it's usually like you have to do an action. So, I got back up, and then they paid me 5 silver for that.
For losing your life?
Yeah, because Malice is really important. It makes an annihilation spell and can help later on with another thing.
No.
It also helps with other things as well, but because I went unconscious, I can be revived back up, but that counts as a mortal wound. It's whenever you get like 5 of them as a warrior, you go to Oblivion, which is like actual death.
And then you die in real life. No.
Yeah.
But in a perfect world, no.
I then got absolutely plastered that night. Fucking Christ, I got so drunk from so much shit. Oh my God,
And
I
were
had
they all in
moonshine,
potion
I had
bottles?
homebrews, I had meat. I had them in my tankard,
Ooh, that's pretty
which
good.
is like
Still,
50 times better.
I don't know. It's still potion bottle's cool though, but a tankard is nice and big though, right? So
Yeah.
There's
so
trade-offs
I had
here.
moonshine, I had moonshine, I had meat, I had whiskey, I had cactus piss, alcohol. I had we had some other types of alcohols, and it was crunked. I had a moonshine that was a blueberry muffin flavored, and you can definitely taste it. Holy fuck, there was Kraken. I had some rum.
I'm not
oh
one
my
for alcohol,
God,
but
I was
blueberry muffin. That
God,
sounds
was-
good. That just sounds really good.
It was good. It was really good. I was trying out new alcohols because I'm a person who likes to try things that are new flavors, but I'm not gonna like absolutely consume the fucking shit out of alcohol. I like new things. I don't like to just keep going over unless I really like it. So I drank the absolute living hell out of a lot of things. I was asked by staff to bring someone home because they were really fucking drunk. And because my tent was like right next to them, so I just, we kind of both were kind of like a little bit, we weren't as stumbly as like you would think. We weren't exactly like absolute fucking knocked out drunk or like, stumbling over everything drunk, but we were kind of like a little just wavy, kind of like just kind of going like this, but not just not face plant drunk. I don't know how to describe it because I don't know much drunk terms, if you know anything like that. So I walked him back, I gave him water, and then I threw 3 waters at his tent, grabbed one for myself, and I drank water for the rest of the night unless someone came with new alcohol, which someone did come up with the new alcohol. And I went,
well,
okay, that's it for the night. Keeps drinking water.
he
And,
has to test the flavor. He's got to be committed.
I like the flavors. The flavors of alcohol are very nice.
He's pleasing
And
the
then-
tongue.
So I had a very fun night of drinking, and I pissed in a bush, and it was very nice. It was just awesome. Throughout
was
the
the
entire
happiest day
night,
of that
though, I
bush.
was,
The bush's life.
oh my God.
So
that
much
was
nourishment
a very fun
there.
night. So here's the funny thing. That was the first time or the second time I've ever gotten drunk at an actual party. But it was a party where I actually knew everybody.
Yeah.
So it was pretty fun. And so I went down to my tent. My fiance got me, and she was at the second party that was down south where there was only beers, no hard liquor. And she got pissed with me because she was like, "God damn it, I wanted to get drunk tonight." And I'm just like,
Wow.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that they were only because I didn't go to I didn't go to it. So I was just up at the Rivelins and getting crunked out. And I was walking home, slipping. Whenever I was falling asleep, I wake up in the middle of the night, see that I'm like about a foot down, have to grab at the very top and drag myself up, and then sleep again.
Because he's slowly sliding. Imagine like the Super Mario 64 slider theme, but like quarter speed.
And then I got up a few times, went to the restroom, and just pissed in the bush because I didn't want to run all the way over in the mud to the fucking latrine area. And that's how I got the 2 ticks on my legs, as I woke up and saw them, and I went, Brutus, Eudes, get the fuck off me.
But neither of them were the meat one, right?
No, none of them were the meat one, so that's the good part. I can still eat red meats, so we're all good. And I went over, that was the 5th day, no, I said 3rd day. That was all that shit happened on Saturday.
That was 3rd day.
4th day.
Well, wait,
The
third
4th day. We're on the 4th day.
Or 3rd day of the actual event? It was the
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Saturday was the night I got crunked. Sunday was the day that the reckoning stopped.
Okay, so this is the 4th day,
So-
but the 2nd day of the
4th
actual
day.
roleplay.
Can we, can we do the Majora's Mask? First day.
Motherfucker, I have too much shit to edit this week. Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay, I'm good with that. So, 4th day. That started with the ticks, and I already explained that yesterday. That was pretty fun. And they told us about earliest in the morning that there is going to be there could be tornadoes today, and that there's going to be a thunderstorm, so no one wear their metal armor. So I did not wear my metal armor. And then we had to go to breakfast. I missed breakfast. I went to lunch instead with the guy. His name was Aiden. And that's his in-game name, is Aiden. He is a librarian whose library burned down, and his last book is his journal. We were going to be doing the translation that day, but we couldn't because a fight broke out. I was in like a actual like fight. So some people were thralled, which means that they got possessed by the orcs. And so they have like markings on them, and then they're possessed, and that they also revive every single time you bring them down. And it doesn't matter how many times you're bringing them down, they always revive. It's fucking weird. So I got that happened, and I immediately handed my books over to Aiden, and I went, I've got to fight. Pulled out my sword and started running into battle. My pipe and my coinage fell off onto the ground. Aiden grabbed one of them and forgot the other one, and it was my pipe that he specifically grabbed. So I'm so fucking excited. I was so happy.
Otherwise, I was going to get claimed by
I immediately went into battle.
mud.
I hit, and then they hit me straight in the side. And since I had no armor, it's a one-shot hit kill, and I just die. That was my second death. That was my second time unconscious, and I didn't know. So whenever it comes down to things, I forgot most of the rules whenever it comes down to playing, and they tried reviving me, and I thought they said, oh no, it's not working. And so I thought they were doing a role play like their magic wasn't working, or their magic like sometimes fails.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of played along with it, but it actually was that I took a little too much time, and they actually counted the 6 seconds inside of their head really fast. And I was supposed to get up, but I stayed on the ground. They're like, if you need to go to oblivion, just put your head over your forehead like this and just start walking away. And I'm just like, I think I need to go to oblivion. So I did it, and I went to oblivion, and then I read the card that's supposed to be all my kills, and it said, go to oblivion once you get 5 mortal wounds. And I'm like, this is my second. Walks out of oblivion.
Yeah, you can't, but it's fine. We can't count. We can't count here.
So yeah, I was like, oh shit, okay, I did this wrong. So then I walked back out, and I was just like, okay, yeah. And then we were like, the storm started rolling in, and we could see it, and I went, we should go do this in the tavern. So we're gonna go to the Hadrian Tavern and start doing this in game. And they're like, yeah, that'd be great. I'm so glad we didn't do that, because we went to the dojo to eat because lunch was there. And all of a sudden, one of the guys is like, it started getting really windy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the start of the first. And it started getting really windy, and the rain. Everyone was called to the dojo immediately because they were like tornado warrant or tornado alert. Watch. Is it whenever watch that they know that there's gonna be a tornado?
So,
and then warning is whenever there is a tornado.
So specifically, watch is when the conditions are right for one to exist, and warning means one has touched down.
We had tornado watch.
Yeah, watch still doesn't even mean it's gonna happen. It's like the conditions are perfect for it to happen.
So we were in watch. Conditions were perfect. It was already starting to get windy, and there was already like circling clouds, not around us, but somewhere else. And we were all called to the dojo, which the dojo was just the dojo that was on the ground. Yes, there was a dojo there.
Convenient.
Don't know why, but there was. So we all got into the dojo, And it was used as the tavern as well. It's also called the tavern by everyone else. So everyone was in the dojo except for a few people who were in the pavilions that were outside, the wedding pavilions, those little like pop-up ones you can pop up and then put on the sunshades on the sides and you just have like a nice little area. No, yeah, those collapsed afterwards.
Oh.
So first thing I see while getting into the dojo and I look behind me is the Suzak Mar guard tent, which I just like looked at and was like, where's the hookah bar? I wanted to try that. And they're like, oh, it's closed right now. And I'm just like, shit. That thing flew. Like straight up flew. Like it was like 10 feet up in the air flying overhead and flew like 12 feet over to the staff tent and fucking crashed into it.
That's so like that's so bad, but it's kind of so funny at the same time.
Everyone else who was inside the tents that were around them got pushed into the fucking dojo and were made to go into the dojo. Staff already sent out like 5 people to go to all places that people could be in to grab them and get them back into the fucking dojo.
I'm glad they did that because, like, honestly, there could totally be some staff that are more like, self-preservation, you know, or get too scared and then don't go out and do that shit. No. So, like, major
staff at Reckoning this year at Reckoning, staff was probably the most fucking awful. Goddamn, if the group or community that I'm a part of, I would love to make a fucking heroes badge for all the staff that actually were extremely helpful during the fucking tornadoes. Because that shit...
I'll get my 3D printer out.
That shit was fucking... You do not know how fucking awesome that was, because I've known people that during those times and events that even if there was staff, they'd just be like self-preservation first and then completely fuck everyone over. Awesome people. Fucking awesome staff this year. Like that was fucking cool.
So come on the podcast. All at once.
That'd be fun.
Everybody on the one.
That'd be fun. But no, so tornado, the actual rain was going sideways. Hail was sideways.
How big hail?
It was
Forrest Gump,
like the size of a fingertip.
Size of a fingertip. Okay, that's pretty big. I'd say that's a pretty good amount. Pretty decent amount.
Yeah, so it's going sideways. Everyone's like it's getting blown around, and it's like about and everyone. We have 250 people in the occupants a rating of 90 people. So there's more people in this fucking building than there really should be to have a safe amount. But it's the only place where we can fucking like get down for shelter. It's the only place on the entire land. So we have a fuck ton of people. Some people are starting to have panic attacks. There was several. So we have several things. Okay, during LARP, if safety is called, you immediately stop LARP, and then everyone gets out of the area that's unsafe, and then you try to make it safe. And as soon as play game is called by a staff member only, is whenever you can continue LARP. EMT was the secondary one. EMT was for a situation in which someone needs to check on someone medically. Like it needs to be. And then ambulance is the third one, is whenever we need to call an ambulance because someone's about to fucking die.
Yeah.
Or something's really happened. We only had to call ambulance once. Or EMT. Or ambulance once. And it was because one of the guys got an allergic reaction to peanuts.
Yeah. Did he not have an EpiPen?
The people... They did. It was in their tent.
Okay.
And that was a 5-minute run.
Oh no!
Back and forth.
That's
that was
definitely have that on you. That's not a great idea.
It was one of the main staff as well. Or he's one of the main leads on Rivelin team. And oh my god, I felt so fucking sorry because the brownies there had walnuts in them.
Yeah.
And they didn't mention that there was even any nuts of any type in there.
Did it really feel like it, or were they like really crushed up? Like you couldn't really tell?
I could feel them, but I didn't know that there were nuts.
Yeah.
I didn't. I thought I didn't.
This?
They didn't have any labeling. They didn't have any labeling because they were home baked.
I can guarantee that will never happen again after that incident. I don't think, or at least that's
we are
less likely now.
That's. Yeah,
they put labels on all the shit. Bring the label printer.
We had EMT called. Someone said his EpiPen is in his tent right now. Someone run up and grab it, and they ran up and grabbed it, got it right back to him, and got it in him. And he went to the hospital. He was in the hospital for 2 days.
I mean, yeah, because
Or a day. I think a day, maybe.
5 minutes there and back? Like, yeah, that's a long time. That if you got that EpiPen in you immediately and then got treatment after that, you'd probably be like, you know, not in the hospital for 2 whole days. But like 10 minutes, like that's bad. That's really bad.
It might have been a day or 2 days. I don't remember exactly how long. All I know is that he was gone for most of the event.
Which is really unfortunate, but like, you know, at least he's...
I feel really bad for him.
I was about to say at least something, and I forgot what it was going to be. At least he didn't die. We'll say that one. That's not the one I was going to say originally, but that's good. Huh?
I think that actually happened on day 3.
3 or 4,
but again, my memory's
someone
scattered
almost died.
Either way, it's fine. So, after that, or some people actually fainted inside the pavilion during the tornado, and some people were having panic attacks because they're not really good with large groups. And there was also the heat issue and the oxygen issue. I immediately went, why don't we use paper plates? Why don't we use the plates that we have in the pavilion as fans? And so I walked over and I'm like kind of like shoving people around, or not really shoving. I'm like, hey, I need to get through here. Hey, I need to get through here. And I've got like several, and I grabbed a stack of paper plates, and they were like wondering, why are you grabbing those? And I'm like, here, have a fan. And then I just went, can you like can you put the rest of these out for everybody else and start handing them out? I started handing them out to everyone I saw who probably was having heat issues, more likely right now. And then we were kind of like fanning down one girl because she was having a really hard time. She doesn't like big spaces and a lot of people around. And I brought Prime with me so that I could. Well, no, Prime is not very good as an actual drink because its nutritional rating is really bad when it comes to electrolytes. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
So we had Prime on us because my fiance's workplace was like, we don't like Prime, so could you just take it with you?
Free?
So
I mean, if it's free, I'd drink that shit. Otherwise, probably not. Apparently, just way too sweet.
So we took it with us, and I just started handing it out to everybody that I could see whenever it came down to it, just to kind of give them the hydration, because it does have potassium, but that's about it. It has like 2 fucking bananas worth of potassium.
Hey.
It's a lot.
Too bad.
So then they were starting to get everyone else out because we were starting to look around the tents, and most of them had collapsed on themselves. There was one girl, and she was one of the Suzak Mar who were selling shit in one of their tents, and most of their trinkets and little items inside their tent is worth more than the entire event because they're priceless. Literally, like, they're things that you can never get again. And she was in her tent, literally holding up the pole, and saw the screw, and then it just collapsed on her. She was gladly not hurt, and all of her stuff was dry afterwards. But I feel really sorry.
Yeah.
She had to stay inside her tent for her shit not to get fucked. And some of it's made of glass. Some of it's like a really good book that has like a bunch of different things in it. I loved all their shit. I just had no silver to buy anything. So
yeah, kind of a shitty situation to be in when you have all that cool stuff, but then there's also kind of a fucking severe storm and tornado and shit. So I don't even know what else you'd do in that situation other than not bring the stuff, but you don't want to not bring the stuff. It's cool stuff.
It rained for the rest of the day until nighttime when it finally stopped. And everyone's taking down their shit, reevaluating. And I like, there were like some of the guys while we were in the pavilion were like, or in the dojo, we were like, are we going to continue this event? And I literally just went, as someone who has actually has had to like, done an event like this, if this had happened during the event, I would have canceled it immediately. There's no call saying that we can continue it all, like at all. And it was a great call that they made because you want to know what happened later? I got my car back over to the event, so I had my car at site. And I didn't want to sleep at the dojo because I had to deflate my air mattress and reset it up in a place where there's a bunch of spiky shit all over the floor. I am not doing that. It is staying inside the tent. We slept inside the tent. I'm still like falling down. I have my phone connected in. I have everything, and I'm watching the tornado watch. I'm watching on Tornado HQ and everything like that, making sure that it's all good. And all of a sudden, I finally fall asleep at about 1:40. Me and my fiance finally slept, and then about 20 to 30 minutes later, all of a sudden we hear tornado touchdown. Seek shelter now.
Woo! 20 minutes of
no
sleep.
Sirens. No sirens.
Good lord.
Are there just no sirens nearby, or none went off?
We're in the middle of fucking Kentucky. We're in the middle of like the wilderness Kentucky. So there's no sirens everywhere. And I immediately woke up was fucking delirious, but was still like trying to get my shit together, getting everything that I needed. We got a blanket, sleeping bag, and also a giant light, my phone, and that was it. And my charger. I got my charger as well, but I didn't know why I got it because I wouldn't be able to charge it unless I went to my car. And we started going out. We zipped it back up, walked out of the tent, and I look over and there's a light up in the tent at the very top of the fucking hill, and I see he hasn't gotten out yet. And I just start screaming, "Seek shelter now, tornado touchdown." Literally repeating it, screaming at the top of my lungs. I'm a very loud person. My robotics team literally said this, like, out of everyone in the stands, of everyone cheering, you were the loudest person. I could literally single out your voice out of the entire crowd in the very middle of it. And I'm a very loud person. So I was screaming at the top of my lungs, and we started going. I slipped on some mud that was still, because of all the rain still happening, I slipped on some mud and fucking landed on someone's collapsible tent thingy, and my ass hurts. Fiance goes like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "Just go, keep continuing." I just get straight up and continue.
Adrenaline is one fucking hell of a thing.
My body was high on adrenaline, and I could feel every moment of it because I knew when the adrenaline kicked in was whenever I landed, because my heart just went, and I had to sprint. So my heart rate went from like a 180 to 210 in like 5 seconds because I did not stop to fucking get a breath. It was straight run now because the wind started picking up even faster and the rain started going almost sideways. And I'm just like, boom, boom, boom. And one of the guys who were staff, love him. I'm going to shout him out. His name was Joel. Fucking best dude, because he was one of the only staff that was there for the night.
Major shout out to Joel. Come on the podcast.
Fucking best staff ever. Love you, because goddamn. I said I mentioned something about the guy in the tent at the very top of by Hadrian Camp because he had his light on, and I'm just like, there might be someone still up there over by out of game. I don't know if they got out. Could you please go check? And he didn't even stop at go check, just ran.
That's awesome.
Ran straight up just to make sure that one person is still okay and safe. And
was there anyone still up there?
Oh,
in the end?
No,
everyone. Okay.
He saw no one there, and so he was like, okay, and then we're all good. And I was like, oh, thank God, I didn't want to have the like consciousness that someone still is out there and could be gone, because it's not a fun time whenever a tornado actually touches down near you at all. There was a Boy Scout camp. Basically, what happened is that they were doing an emergency preparedness mock exam. Basically, tornado hits and they kind of bring out people who are like the mock examiners, and they'll have like fake injuries and shit like that, and you're supposed to deduce whether they're red tag, black tag, and green tag, and yellow tag, just to kind of make sure that you can get everyone all situated and everyone healed and do the first aid treatments on everybody. But then a tornado actually struck into the area, and they actually had to do a real fucking thing. And let me tell you, no, they stopped the mock exam, and some of the kids had to help because there was not enough people there to do a real thing.
That feels like something out of a movie. Like, oh yeah, we're doing the preparedness stuff for an incident like this. Then the incident happens.
The incident happens. No, the worst part is that the guy who was actually there, who was my instructor, was actually there for that instruction. And let me tell you, some of the kids did not. They could not handle it after several of the people were black tagged. They were straight up just bawling their eyes out, because a black tag basically means there's nothing they can do and they're more likely going to die.
Jesus fucking Christ.
That's what black tag means. And so there were several people who got black tagged, and they were just like, no, we can do it. And they're like, no, we have to get to the other people because they're more important, because they actually have treatable stuff that we can treat now and save more lives. And so it was one of the you have to get really prepared for that kind of shit whenever it comes down to that kind of shit. And I did take the merit badge, but I never got to take a mock exam, and I'm so glad that never happened.
There was a major time jump here, right, for a moment, because you didn't specify that.
Major time jump. Time jump. This is an entirely different event. My brain does this sometimes. So after that, we were stuck in the dojo for a while. Me and some of the guys were all talking and just kind of like talking about like new things and new ciphers that we could try in the next event. Kind of just talking, and just to get our minds off of the whole fact that there's a tornado somewhere. And the power went out, so we had to light some candles, and we're all just kind of sitting there waiting. After all the shit went down, It calmed down. I went to the restroom. My fiance laid out our sleeping bag and our blanket, and we just slept on the floor. I slept for about 4 hours. She slept for the rest of the day until like I finally got all the shit packed up, and she finally woke up. And I was just like, "Hey,
you got some
ready to
sleep to
go."
catch up on, and you gotta heal your ass.
Oh, my ass is healed now. So it was such. Skill Tree did get recent confirmation for the tornado. It was 10 minutes away.
Like a 10-minute, like a 10-minute drive, you mean, or what do you mean by 10 minutes exactly?
Like if it was going in our direction, it'd be 10 minutes away.
Okay, like a tornado, 10 minutes.
Like
okay, because when someone says minutes away, I usually think a 10-minute drive. Okay,
they're probably meaning
close.
like that, but they was really fucking close. And the worst part is that there was two of them. One was forming, but didn't do a full tornado, and the other one was a full tornado. Someone who had a mom that was in the area, their house got destroyed.
Yeah. Tornadoes are no fucking
really
joke. The three of us, like, we all kind of live in places where tornadoes can happen, right? You can, where you are as well, yeah. Kind of.
Sometimes.
And Mr. Oklahoma over here, Jesus Christ,
lives in Tornado Alley.
I'm kind of in the middle. Like we have a gradient here of like most likely to least likely to get a tornado across the couch.
And that was pretty much love most of the staff. The staff was awesome. And everyone got packed out, and everyone got out of the event and packed away and off the land in one day after that. And we're on the fifth day, or on the fifth day, Monday. It was an eventful fucking week, and it was so much fun, but also so fucking scary.
And next time, Mother Nature won't be a bitch ass hoe and will actually allow you to complete the whole damn thing, right?
If you want to come to Reckoning 4, it'll be happening in March next year. So look out, and it is a pretty cool LARP event. If you're wanting to get into LARP, they're pretty good to start in. We don't know yet.
Somewhere in the U.S. Somewhere.
Actually, it's a Midwest thing, so it's more likely going to happen either in Kentucky, Southern Indiana, Tennessee, or somewhere in that area.
Somewhere in the Midwest. I'm not going to explain Midwest again. I already explained what the fuck Midwest means last episode to those who don't fucking know, because the term Midwest is stupid.
We can now get on to
John's tornado thing.
John's tornado story.
Well, we are already past like an hour and 20 minutes, so
yeah,
I think we can do this, and then we'll have to call it.
But hey, it gives us more stuff to talk about next week too.
Yeah, I mean, like, in terms of, like, what happened to me, so this was not too long ago. Essentially what had happened was that, like, I'd been doing some stuff, and I get a call from my parents being like, hey, there's some really bad weather, there's a potential for a tornado to happen. See if you can get to, like, a spot that's, like, safe, at least for the time being. And I'm like, okay. So I stay on the phone with them, and they're watching it. I'm also watching it on my phone. And they're like, and it's getting close. It had already gone through like one other place and just demolished it.
I see.
Like, to hell and back. And so
when your parents initially got you, was it still a watch then, or was it a warning?
It was a warning because it had touched down. It hadn't gotten to the first town yet, but it like about in between the time that I had gotten into a safe spot in my house to like a little bit later, it had already went through a town that's south of where I am.
Man, do you like get alerts for this stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I get alerts for this stuff, but yeah. So because I just initially at first thought that it wasn't that close to me. I don't know why. Because I knew there were storms and stuff around in different places, but I didn't think that it was that close to me. So it then just kept going north. And it got really close to the point where it was like, okay, hang on, we're gonna change of plans, because essentially like where I was decent. Is if the tornado was like a little ways away, but it was like literally like a path that was just headed directly towards where I lived. So it was like, okay, we're gonna change the plans because if you're still there and it hits, you're dead. So
do you have a basement?
No, I don't. I don't have a basement. Because I'm like, in terms of a house, what I've got is just a 1-story thing. It's a really small house, just 1 story and just really small. So essentially what I do is I decide it's time to drive fast. Don't do this unless you know what you're doing in terms of tornado stuff. But kind of what I had to do because of where I live and like in the town, essentially I just grabbed, I just got out of there immediately. I had my phone on me and I had like a pair of headphones on. I just kept all that stuff on. I grabbed my hat and I grabbed a backpack. So they were just right there on the couch on the way out. Just grabbed those two things, got out the door, got in my car with my wallet and keys, and then just floored it out. Unfortunately, what I had to do was first I had to go south a little bit and then east. The problem was the reason that the bad thing is because this tornado was south of me. So I had to first go towards it and then a little ways away from it to be able to start going towards, just because it's just the road layout is not great where I am. So I had to go south first and then east. And then I had to go north throughout the center of where I live and then go east again. And then whenever I started going east towards another town that was in that direction, just fucking floored it. I started just, I think the speed limit was like a 65 or something. I just went like 85. So it was like, fuck it.
I'm always concerned when it comes to like yes, I guess under very certain circumstances, like if the thing's coming right for you, I guess, and you don't have a basement, you don't have a safe place, you kind of do have to leave. But then the thing about leaving is that then there's all these cases where like a severe storm or hurricanes, tornadoes, whatever will happen, and then these roads get completely halted, like complete traffic jam. It's like, fuck, what do you do?
In terms of like a lot of like place or like a lot of roads and stuff, like I had good visibility, so I didn't like, there really wasn't much of a risk of me like just ramming into a thing. I had good visibility.
Here's you're saying
Good.
So
then I'm gonna say John got then pulled over, and it was a weird pullover.
Yes, sir. I'm trying not to die today.
No, I was pretty much my entire thought was just, is if someone tries to pull me over, I'm just flipping them off at that point, because it's like my safety's coming first. So I get like really far east, and I still have like my parents on the phone with me in my ears, because I still have the headphones on. I never took those off, so I've got my parents still on call with me. And as I'm driving, I get about enough east of from there to where it's like I'm just no longer in the path of it at that point. There's no way that like I would be in contact there. So I kept going east a little bit, but in less speed, and then just kind of got myself parked somewhere for a little bit to just quickly pull up the news and pull up all sorts of stuff to be able to just like keep watch of kind of like what's going on. Essentially, kind of what happened was that where I lived, the tornado didn't hit it entirely. It just only hit like the north part of where I live, but it just kind of went a little over the town, just because it's in like a weird bowl area. So so it went a little over and then came back down and hit a little north of where I live. But
so did like this whole fucking like around your house shit?
Yeah, pretty much. It just went over. Like that's what it did.
Oh my god.
So
very, very fortunate.
Pretty much what happened. It was
tornado was like next
it's
time.
Absurd.
In an alternate universe, final
where
one
live,
brain
like,
cell.
Yeah, because like where I grew up throughout like most of my childhood, I lived in what's called like a holler. So just like this like little bowl of land that's there. And so whenever you're in something like that, tornadoes are just not going to hit you because they don't exactly like to go that far down that quickly. What they'll do is they'll just go over and then kind of go down a little bit, but then they'll hit the other side of the bowl and just continue that direction. So really you're like, as if you're in something like that, even if it's just like a little bit, you're not really going to get hit by anything. So that was kind of the situation there. But it was literally just like, I had to like, everywhere that I went, I just went like 10 to 15 miles over the speed limit until I started going east, and then it was just floor.
And if the circumstances were a little bit different, I mean, your house totally could have been hit, and you'd like, well, what do you know what rating this tornado was? This one specifically? EF1, EF5?
I don't remember exactly what the rating was. I don't remember the exact rating of it.
Oklahoma has had
look again and see what it was.
Because I already talked about this before, how Oklahoma, specifically more Oklahoma, has both been hit by like the final F5, yeah, and then when they
Yeah,
changed to the
Moore's
EF
been
system,
hit,
was hit by an
a couple
EF5.
times. Yeah, Moore has been hit a couple different times. Joplin isn't in Oklahoma, but it's pretty darn close. It's in I believe Missouri or Kansas. I don't remember exactly, but Joplin's been hit pretty bad before, really really severe. And then there's been a couple other different places like here and there that's just been devastated by tornado. Actually, not too long after that one, another tornado hit a pretty not super hard, but pretty decently within a town that is pretty close to where my parents live now. So
The interesting
I
thing,
actually drove. Yeah, I drove through it a little bit last week and saw just a couple of different places, but on like the main street, just like demolished, and it was like, ugh.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I hate seeing that shit.
no, it's not great. I had there was a town somewhat nearby-ish, a smaller one that got really fucked up recently by some tornadoes. The same one where I had to where I was in the middle of the warehouse during the tornado. You know, I was at work during that. He's sitting on this fucking crisscross applesauce on the concrete floor, eating my fucking cheese Pringles, and not drinking a soda because I forgot my soda at my desk. But I had my phone. I was talking to Aki on call. And he's just like, imagine if you died. I'm like, fuck you!
Yeah.
Would have been final 0 brain cells.
Okay.
I want to say something real quick about
What was
tornadoes
that?
generally. It's really interesting that for the three of us, it's just like kind of a commonplace thing to think and talk about tornadoes and stuff. But there's so many places, more places in the U.S. than not, I feel like, where it's just not even a concept that's even ever
recently.
considered.
Well, yeah.
It's like
most of the world doesn't have tornadoes.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the world itself.
like,
if you're far East Coast, far West Coast, you're like, what, a tornado? Like, you might not even know much about it unless you've like looked into it.
Yeah, because I was talking to someone that was an Uber driver for me in Vegas, and talking about like a lot of the different weather and stuff, and just like the tornado stuff, and it's like it's really intense. But there's kind of like, you hear about it, and you kind of like experience that kind of stuff about like, because there's usually about like 2 or 3 or 4 like especially in Oklahoma, about like 4 or so tornadoes that happen during like this portion of the season. We're kind of at the tail end of
Finally
tornado
exiting
season as
tornado
of recording
season.
this, but like during that time, it's like, it's just like every week or every other week or something like that, there's always like some huge storm that's coming through that has like intense tornadoes and stuff. Like it's really like, there's a lot of jokes of like people sitting on like their porches and shit and just with a beer or something watching the tornado go by. But whenever kind of like you're in a situation like that, like it happens so much, it's still fucking terrifying. It just is. Kind of having to do that, like I after the drive and after doing all that kind of stuff, I was able to kind of crack jokes about it because it's like that, like, come on, that's kind of funny. But
at the time, you don't know
like,
what the fuck is going to happen.
In the moment, it's fucking horrifying. Like, it just is. It's like, you don't know what's going to happen. I was like asking like every like 10 or 15 seconds, like, hey, where is it in relation to me? I didn't know anything. I didn't like, it wasn't until like a bit later to where it's like, it didn't hit and it went over, but I didn't know as if there was any damage yet. And it wasn't until I actually got back into my hometown where then I saw that like most of everything was fine and that everything was okay. So
it's scary because you don't know if the fucking path of this thing is going to change like crazy, because that happens.
Yeah.
You never know if another one's going to touch down right on top of you, because that also happens. Because I mentioned a couple episodes ago of how like there was an Amazon facility in a state somewhere nearby me where like the tornado touched down in the parking lot right outside the building, demolished the building, and then disappeared. Like it could pop up, kill a bunch of people at one building and then disappear. You never fucking know what's gonna happen. This shit sounds like it's a movie, but it really happens here in the Midwest. It's crazy.
It's just really absurd. But yeah. And on that massive downer,
but we're okay, and
we are now like an hour and a half into it, so I think we're gonna call it here.
I think this was a really nice episode. I'm really happy with this, and you know, also it was really coherent, so I probably won't need to edit too much stuff except for your little boo-doo-doo-doo and your photos and stuff.
And also the cuts.
Yeah, and the cuts. I'll try to remember those.
Yeah, the one
Yeah,
cut.
I'll remember. Yes, I will remember those. But this was really fun, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. Next week, I've got some things I want to talk about as well, in which case it'll actually be closer to one of those things, for example, arriving. I don't think it'll arrive by that episode, but very shortly after, like a day or two. So, pretty excited to talk about some of those things.
I may talk about something next week, but it just depends. There's a lot of things happening, so I've not had a whole lot to talk about these past few weeks, and that's just because everything relevant to me I can't talk about yet. But I think I'm getting close to being able to talk about.
I've just been busy. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat though.
I don't have a job right now, and I'm kind of still doing the job searching and trying to get my resume all fixed up so I can do stuff. My mom is also trying to get me to do voice acting as well because they heard the. Do you remember the Doomswayo? In your first stage.
Oh, yeah, that one.
In the first, the high pitch one. Yeah, she heard that and went, "Why aren't you a voice actor?" And I'm just like,
yeah,
because I don't know how to market myself.
But yeah, it's really convenient that we happen to have a bit of a stockpile of shit to talk about, because right now all three of our lives are pretty kind of preoccupied with other shit going on right now to get cool stuff to talk about. So honestly, the fact that we just used a whole episode for LARP and then we still have stuff to talk about next week, perfect. Don't forget, everyone here who's watching, if you want to check out all of my socials, all of John's socials, all of Gear's one social that doesn't get used, and hopefully the link to his Fiverr where you can hire him for voice acting at some point, like you just said. You can find all of that and more at F3B Podcast.com. The letter F, the number 3, the letter B, podcast.com. It's not FTB, because FTB would be the fucking abbreviation for that Minecraft mod pack team. No. Yeah, and thank you so much for watching or listening. Audio listeners, love you to death. Kills you. What are you doing?
You're the one supposed to be doing outro.
That's true, John. What are you gonna do?
A tornado.
How are we sending this one?
In effect until 5:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time for
Outro.
You know what? In the middle of that, I should just have like a fucking tornado, just like I could use the empty space there. Just have a tornado showing up.
Just fucking hell.
Or I put a fucking EAS alert on the screen.
Oklahomans get PTSD.
I could put an EAS alert, like an emergency
Fucking
alert
hell.
system fucking pop up. I really might do that. I might do that.
Good lord.